Hey, this episode's brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Every man knows the unbeatable feeling of a fresh barbershop shave. Upstairs and down.
Barbershop shave.
That's right.
Say that 10 times fast.
Well, I want to introduce you to the newest innovation that Manscaped has. The Chairman Pro electric foil shaver. It's a game-changing tool that brings the luxury of professional shave right to your home, whether you're after that daily silky smooth finish, more like Steve and I, or you're more rugged and outdoorsy and woodsy and a hunter and a fisher like Jesse.
I didn't know I was ahead of the game. What do you mean new? I have one of these at home.
I know, but this is the Chairman Pro.
I think I have that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might just have the Chairman.
Did you use it today?
No, I was slacking.
Maybe next time.
I was slacking.
So listen, here's what we want you to do. Head over to manscaped.com and join the 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using the code DANGLE. 20% off plus free shipping on your order. Again, it's DANGLE, D-A-N-G-L-E. 20% off, free shipping, manscaped.com. And let's start the Steve Dangle podcast, baby.
SDP, the Steve Dangle podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
So, kicking off the episode with we just got shut out by the last team. The last place team in the NHL.
Did you forget the word place?
I did.
Yep. The last team.
Yeah.
That's technically Seattle.
Also true. Now, here's the deal. Emily Kaplan backed up everything that Steve said the other day. And basically, she said, friction is happening. I heard from multiple people after the loss to St. Louis on Sunday that there was a closed-door meeting. By the way, I've been to very few meetings where there is an open door. And so
a wide open door meeting.
So a closed door should really be called a players only, but I digress. And I'm not, there were some people that took umbrage with different reports and whatever, but she said, I can tell you there are some players that are super frustrated with Cruz Drury right now. And she did say too, on the report, because I went and watched it on ESPN and it was clear as day. She said, some players support him. And I think
we talked about that. I'm like, I don't know. One of them just got $92 million from him. They probably like him.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, that all happened Sunday. And then last night, the Rangers, who are now 3-11 in their last 14, get shut out by the NHL's new most miserable team, the Nashville Predators.
Stat of the night from Arthur Staple. Meanwhile, the Rangers have lost to the 32nd place team in the NHL twice in 8 days. It was two different teams.
I'm going to be honest. It's not as bad as Buffalo.
Oh. Isn't that
everything that's gone on with the New York Rangers? I'm still like, they could turn it around.
Oh, they could.
They could make playoffs.
They're 3-11. What was it? 3-11 in 14 games?
They got Igor Shesterkin. They got Artemi Panarin. I look at Buffalo and I say, that thing is pilot, steaming hot poo-poo.
And we are going to get to Buffalo. And I think Jesse has a point, because remember, at one point this season, and this is hard to remember, I believe it was November 20th when the bad stuff started happening in New York, the Rangers, New York, that the Rangers were 12-4. They were well on their way to winning the division. Maybe not the President's Trophy, because it looked at that point like the Winnipeg Jets were running away with it. But this team that won the President's Trophy last year, that went to the third round and still won 2 games in the third round.
They were up 2-1.
This team looked to be pretty good. And then things started to skid, and then Trouba, and now here we are. And here's what, since that meeting was reported by Steve and some other reporters and that sort of thing, the interesting thing that keeps going through my head, guys, is, listen, imagine you're on a great team. Your team wins the President's Trophy. And if you ask certain people, the President's Trophy...
Wrong people. Yeah, go ahead.
Jesse hates this.
Go ahead.
The Stanley Cup often goes to the hottest team. The President's Trophy often goes to the team that's best over 82 games. LA Kings 2012. Prove them wrong.
Oh,
LA Kings 2012. Prove them wrong.
You're disrespecting hockey right now.
I'm not disrespecting. Listen, if we're talking about aggregate best team, 82 games, they play everybody.
It's a different sport.
The New York Rangers won.
There's two sports.
Here, got both of you.
Yeah.
That's so many games.
Thank you.
Continue.
Thank you, Steve.
So
Thank you for bringing balance to the universe.
and really, we're not going to get into that take right now because it would just be distracting. But
yeah, I don't know why you said that.
because I love
So what Adam's
I love
talking
how
about
upset it makes
is-
Jesse because it's right and he's so mad about it.
President's
Now-
Trophy is meaningless.
Now, it's not that's
like
bullshit.
the, like
now,
the
that
Calder
is
Cup.
bullshit.
Like the Calder Cup, it is meaningless.
The
means
President's
nothing.
Trophy is not meaningless.
It is truly meaningless. How much did it mean when the Florida Panthers won it?
Poo.
Yeah.
It meant
How much
that,
did it mean when
that they might have a good team that could win a cup in the next couple of years.
Winning the President's Trophy and losing was like the turning point of their
But
franchise.
hold on, though. Hold on. When the Panthers had their next season after winning the President's Trophy, what happened? They sneak into the playoffs. And then they go down 3-1 to Boston.
Yeah.
And then they beat Boston, who had a record-setting year. And then they go all the way to the Stanley Cup final. I want everybody to be aware, because Jesse was bang on the money when we started this show. Florida did not have a great follow-up to their President's Trophy year, except for when they hit the playoffs. All New York really needs to do is clean it up a little bit, make the playoffs.
I don't think that's what
Kick
I'm
some
saying
ass.
at all.
No, they need to start opening some
I don't think
doors.
that's what you were saying, but what I was coming in to say, Jesse, is there are plenty of teams that have a bad fall off after a President's Trophy win and do perfectly fine.
No, the President's Trophy thing has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah. The
They
Rangers,
won it last year.
The
I think it has a little bit to do with it.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the argument about its meaning to the game of hockey has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think it's an important point to illustrate how good they were last year, and they went to the Eastern Conference Finals and all that. But the point about I don't think how much it should mean anything to the sport of hockey is a completely different discussion that can take minutes if we want to have that some other day.
So the Rangers,
Yes.
they're quite bothered right now. And that is the players. Obviously, they had their closed door meeting. It's obviously Peter Laviolette is frustrated, and like I know for a fact, it is permeating through the offices there. Everything going on is an enormous distraction. They're jittery about what people are saying out there, and they're trying to control the message. And the only way to properly control the message, the narrative around your team, is to not be on one of your worst skids in years and then get shut out by the team in last place. And things are going from bad to worse there. I think they're at a real breaking point here. And if I'm not mistaken, hasn't CJ said multiple times on the CJ show that the holiday moratorium on trading, making trades and all that is December 20th? I doubt they rush into some things. It could be a spicy 24 hours or so in New York, but my guess is they wait on it. They stuff themselves full of a little bit of turkey, and then in the new year, we could see a brand new Rangers team one way or another.
Well, I think, too, if you're a Rangers player and you've gone and you've won the President's Trophy, you got 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
And then 2 of your most popular teammates. Because here's the deal with hockey players. They don't care what the cap is. They don't care what next year is. They care about right now. And you've gone to the third round and you sacrificed your body and you've earned these no trade clauses.
Third round,
and
twice in 3 years.
Yep. And you've put it all on the line for this franchise. And their response is, hey, you didn't make the finals, so let's start dismantling it. That's how they're going to see it. Now, from the other perspective, it could just be like, hey, Chris Drury wants to squeeze those other 2 wins out, and he doesn't believe they're going to be able to get it done with this group, which then makes this group feel like, what is there not to believe in here? We were in the Final Four. We were 2 games away. It's so easy for an athlete's confidence to be shaken by somebody internally. They shot themselves in the foot because the general manager telegraphed a week and a half ago and last summer that this team, even though they've seen some success, is not good enough in my eyes. And the players, I think if you were to ask them, most of them would have wanted to keep it the way it was.
Here's what I would say. Well, yeah, but I think
and
I
the
think
evidence
athletes
backs that, though.
I think athletes default to the room
Sure.
generally, and that's like across sports. I try to think back to the Raptors, 2018, LeBron and all that, and they make it to the conference final again. They had done it at least twice. And that's close. But it's not close. They weren't close.
Yeah.
They were so close and so far, and they had to do something. I think the difference, besides it being basketball, is someone came in. They got rid of Barclay Goodrow and replaced him with... Okay. And they got rid of Jacob Trouba. And he's been replaced with... They haven't done anything but subtract.
No, they added Riley Smith. No, but you're acting like they didn't. They needed winger help, and he went out and got a winger help, and the Trouba deal is freeing up the cap space because all of their young kids got good and they need new contracts.
That's true.
That's why on the same day you trade Trouba, you sign Igor Shesterkin.
Yes.
Like don't act like they didn't get anything for Trouba.
No, but also okay, you're a cap team. Riley Smith is available every year. Him or someone like him. So if I'm a Rangers fan, I'm not getting out of bed because, they got Riley Smith. He's done well there. That's great. But, man, you shiv guys the way they've shivved them. You better be adding some real value here. Okay, Shesterkin's salary is going up next year. What about this year? Trouba is off the books this year. Goudreau is off the books this year. What's next? What's next? Who am I getting? Who am I excited about? Who am I? They're just fending for themselves and they're dying. These guys are either playing hurt or they're playing without confidence or whatever it is because it's virtually the same group and they're just drowning out there. It's every year, not even every year or two, there's a team that has no business being this bad and they're this bad. And this year's it's the Rangers. And I think Adam's right. They're a hot week away from, all right, shake that off and go through the rest of the season and they'll be fine.
And the joy of the cycle.
Friggin' Pittsburgh turned the ship around. A bit.
It's been 3 days.
Sens turned the ship around.
Okay, fine.
A bit.
Pittsburgh.
The Avalanche.
The Avalanche weathered a storm.
They weathered a storm. The storm was everyone's
Injuries.
hurt.
Yeah.
But the other storm, it's the movie The Perfect Storm, where two storms collide, was no goalies. And they went out and they did something I haven't seen in a very long time, and that is before Christmas, they changed both their goalies.
It's never happened before.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Oh, okay, well then
The Sabres
that's
did
a
it.
very long time.
The Sabres did it over a full season, but no one's ever done it before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Both goalies you started the season with.
Jesse. How likely is it? How likely is it that they can clean this up? I'm not saying, we all know they can. How likely is it? When I see Lindgren's interview yesterday, he seems so frustrated. It's almost like he doesn't know what to do. And a lot of people are pointing at him like he's the problem.
Yeah, Lindgren had a bad game on Sunday. I don't think Lindgren was especially good at any moment on Sunday against St. Louis. And if they don't have a chance at all, if the guys on the ice can't turn it around, because it's not I understand your point about hey, you wish Drury did more with the roster, but it's also the guys on the ice aren't playing well.
Yes.
So it's
totally.
you're not rewarding these players because they gave up on this season, and so far they have right now, especially with the efforts from the star players. It's not the kids who are not trying. Kako, after getting scratched,
was pissed.
He looked spectacular. You look good. Again, nobody really looked spectacular. I shouldn't say that, but he looked decent against the Preds.
He looked unscratchable.
He looked like he should be a player who's in the lineup every day, and it's ridiculous that he's the person who gets the scratching on Sunday. But if we want to talk about the on-ice performance, the opening goal, it's Chad Ruhwedel, it's Vakanainen, it's Zibanejad getting a 3-on-2 taken away, going the other way for the Preds, and the Forsberg, Stamkos, Marchessault line trio that was out there looked like what Barry Trotz wanted and what he thought he was buying in the offseason. They look like an all-star team on that first goal because
that is a very literally, you could see that at the All-Star game in recent years.
100%. They look spectacular on this 3-2. Just eating these two defensemen alive, and Zibanejad trying to get up in the rush because everybody looks out of place, and Mika looks so slow, and the defensemen are making every error you can possible. And I look at the on-ice product of the New York Rangers, and I say it's not good enough. It's not good enough from the people you know should be better. And you look at the head coaching, the head coach can't motivate anybody, and that's a large part of your job as a head coach. And then you look at the general manager who is just playing shenanigans with his team and doing whatever he wants with no regard for anybody's feelings, and that's not inspiring confidence. So I don't know where you go forward here.
He's on the wrong app on his phone, I can tell you that. They have $7.5 million of cap space, which is the good news. But like you said about rewarding the players and not wanting to do that, okay, you usually gotta to get a player of value of $7.5 million of value, you got to pay something to get something.
Exactly.
They have all their first round picks for the next 3 years. That's good. They don't have a second or third this year. In fact, they don't have a second until it looks like 2028. So I don't know exactly what you do to fill that void. You have to, at this point, you basically have to trade off your roster.
But and with the effort given by the Rangers right now, and we love to use Vegas as an example of how ruthless they are and everything that they do with their players, and they just care about winning. And it's like when Marc-Andre Fleury was traded away, I know Mark Stone just stopped playing hockey. You know, like he didn't back check.
Well,
he didn't play a 200-foot game.
Pete DeBoer got fired because that team quit on him. Yeah, and you could talk about the goaltending issues that they had that year, but that team stopped playing for Pete DeBoer. That was a bad year for me.
I think it's a different circumstance when they quit on the head coach versus quitting on a general manager.
Yes,
because they traded away one of their favorite players. Like, I feel like this is what's happening in New York, where they're upset with the entire front office and the regime from ownership down, as you've reported. And I think that's very true. And in that, you can't do that as a player. You can't have your on-ice product be hurting this much because you're unhappy with the front office.
Getting fired by MSG is a rite of passage. Those guys are pissed. I know Trouba's not there anymore, but those guys are pissed.
Maybe Tampa is the better example than Adam, because Tampa, every single time they won a cup, the next week, Julien Brisebois sent out full lines of people.
Yeah.
Ryan McDonough, that third line that won them the cup. And
Gord, Blake Coleman.
Goudreau's in fucking New York, you know? Like,
before they won, do you remember who Tampa traded? JT Miller.
Yes.
They traded JT Miller, if I'm not mistaken. It was JT Miller, and the centerpiece of the return was a first-round pick that they pitched out the door for Barclay Goodrow. Dude, I offer you Barclay Goodrow for JT Miller straight up. What are you telling me besides go fuck yourself?
That would be it.
Like, yeah exactly. So, but it worked.
My point is...
And it's also worked for JT as well.
My point is this happens in pro sports, and that can't be... If that's truly why these guys look so distraught on the ice, that's unacceptable to me.
I think there's a lot of unacceptable to go around, and that is definitely included.
And also, you're a head coach. Fucking get your guys motivated.
Yeah. Well, so listen, and it's like people are like, well, have they... This is why I suggested that it was a quiet quitting, because I don't expect NHL players to like their coach. I think that's like an outlier. Your coach is supposed to be somebody that there's some sort of constant underlying tension with. So if someone says, oh, the players don't really like Peter Laviolette, I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Who goes home and gushes about their boss? Oh, they're so great besides Maddie. Like, who goes home and talks about like how great their bosses?
They're gonna tell you, because they're especially at a pro sports like that, they're supposed to push you when you don't want to be pushed. And guess what? That's fucking annoying. Yeah. Like, I don't want to fucking hear it sometimes. But sometimes you need to hear it. And I think the difference is I've never seen players. And again, there are Drury supporters in the room, and I'm sure one of them has a $100 million contract, just a guess. But I've never seen a players go, coach, whatever, I don't like the GM. And that is what makes this situation a little bit unique. Now, the question is, if you're a New York Ranger right now, do you want to stay a New York Ranger? And how do you want this season to play out? Because it is ultimately up to you. Like I said,
think they want to be Rangers.
from what I have heard,
Most of them.
Drury's got at least a trade left in him before the spotlight goes to him. And you have to remember this ownership, which is always described as passionate and excitable, using nice words to go, this person flies off the fucking handle and it's kind of scary sometimes.
Adam.
At what point does that person look down at the GM and go, I know that you did what I told you to, but you lost the guys, so you need to go? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's always easier to fire a general manager or a coach than it is to pitch all those guys out the door. Yeah. And remember that if let's say they are really quitting on Drury. If they fire Drury and they bring in someone else, I don't know who it is. I don't even care. It's not my job.
They brought in
Steve.
Yeah.
And the players go, I don't have an opinion on Steve. I don't like him. I don't not like him. He's just a guy. That's still an improvement on Chris Drury.
I think that's kind of how they feel right now about Steve.
About Steve. They're probably neutral. They're probably not thinking about Steve, which is probably good. My point is, Drury's put himself in a position, whether he was forced to or not, put himself in a position where he's in their headlights. And getting a GM that they're neutral on, that they don't just hate, could be an upgrade for the Rangers. Mm-hmm. That's a bad spot to put yourself in as a general manager. And in Vegas's case, I think what was different was they made a coaching change, and they clearly needed to.
Yeah.
And they made some more personnel changes in the offseason. They were more aggressive in the offseason than the Rangers were this offseason. The only thing the Rangers seemed to be aggressive with this past offseason was getting rid of Goudreau and Trouba. And I think that they wanted to do more, but they knew that they had a bunch of extensions coming up.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas Vegas was like, no, we're just going to keep switching, guys. This is what we do. You got to go all the way.
Maybe Vegas players come to expect that. And when it happened, it was shocking, but, that's the Vegas Golden Knights. Mm-hmm. Kreider's been a Ranger for longer than the Golden Knights have been around. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's a betrayal. If you're him, mm-hmm. I think it's difficult to not feel that way. And that's one of your leaders. And, your coach is going to be going through him a decent amount, especially with your captain gone. And they're going to be going through Mika, and they're going to be going through all the guys they've lost the worst. Mm-hmm. And it's real difficult to come back from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's just a difference of mindset. Like difference between Vegas, what happened in Vegas when they were down but not out and then won the cup, and what happened in New York. I think it's just a difference of mindset. I don't think they're grossly far apart in terms of skill.
Totally. But you look at the Ranger situation too, and guys like Kreider and Fox and Lafreniere and Kakko and Lindgren and Keandre Miller were all there for the David Quinn era.
Yes.
Like this is their third head coach.
Yes.
The large core of this team. They've been there for a while. And David Quinn got fired after you just barely missed the playoffs, not great in 21. You give up on Gerard Gallant by the end of that season. And then this is your third head coach. Now, what am I supposed to get you? A fourth guy?
Yeah.
A fourth? Are you kidding me?
Well, and seeing Kakko's tweet last night, seeing a tweet that what Kakko said, like, hey, I'm the, I know I'm not the worst guy, but I'm the one that's out. Or it's the young guy that's out. What I found hilarious about that, Mark Lazarus is like, hey, he's a 7-year pro.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah.
Kakko's well into his mid-20s.
Yeah, dude, you're a vet now.
Dude, there's a crazy amount of miles on some of the youngest players. Like Keandre Miller.
Yep.
All right. Drafted 2018, NHL debut in the 2020-2021 season. He's played 322 games. He's played 43 playoff games.
Yeah, dude.
He's had already a 20-game playoff run, a 7-game playoff run. Maybe you should join another blue team. And a 16-game playoff run. I can't believe that. He just got here. That's a tiny baby child. Nope. Grizzled vet.
Yep.
The NHL puts miles on you fast.
Kakko, 23, to be fair. I said well into his mid-20s. 23, 5-year pro. So
5-year pro. Sorry. Maybe I got Laz's tweet wrong.
Still.
5-year pro.
300 NHL games.
You're a
after playing pro in Finland.
Yeah.
The pro part, I guess, is
Semantics.
that's how he's semantics totally. But 300 NHL games. This is going to be your fourth head coach if we want to get you a new one. Come on, guys.
Drafted the year after Keandre Miller, but actually made his NHL debut the season before.
Yeah.
I just think
Kakko is a pre-COVID player. What?
Drury, I think, has put himself, whether it was management's wishes or not, above him. He's put himself in a really tough spot here because if he's the target, all they have to do is replace him with anybody. And all of a sudden that all goes away.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really dangerous position for a guy working for an organization as unpredictable as the Rangers management group can be. And Knicks fans will know, right? I just think you're in a bad spot. Now, I'd like to, if it's okay.
And he holds the power right now.
Yes.
That's his plus side is he holds the power because he can move the players, but once he executes those final chess moves, it's on him.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
The
Very
return for
interesting
Kakko, should that deal happen, and I think it will.
There's
whatever he gets.
Don't do it.
You don't think so?
Don't do it.
I think
Like
they're going
Kakko can't be the guy.
You better
That's
get
brutal.
You better get value.
That's brutal.
I can see you improving your team, but who is it? Who's out there?
Yeah.
Well,
I'd rather trade Zibanejad at this point.
Damn.
But
I don't know if he can.
That monster contract, you can't.
I don't think he can. And I don't know.
Well-
He's got a no trade, doesn't he? It doesn't even matter because that contract's a bit of a no trade.
Yeah, it's like for another 5 years.
I think you're far more likely to rehabilitate Zibanejad's game than you are to get value out of a trade for him. But
no,
you never know.
100% right. Like you're not trading him at his lowest value ever.
Well, and
Yeah.
I kind of wonder with the Rangers we are going to have to start talking about this, honestly. I know that Connor McDavid is due to sign a contract potentially July 1st. But if you don't think that NHL teams in the East and in the West are going to at least watch that play out and maybe make room for him, you're nuts.
Oh, you've heard of soft tampering. Get ready for rock hard friggin' turgid tampering.
I think it would be great for the health and growth of this league if when the salary cap goes up this season and next year to north of $100 million and we see all of these teams get a whole bunch of cap space, we see a very similar Kevin Durant to Golden State situation.
Yes.
Where somebody is able to steal a giant player like Connor McDavid over to one of these markets.
And they become the Monstars.
And build an awesome super team.
Yep.
It'd be cool stuff for this league.
Yeah, it'd be great. Well, it was great for the NBA. Yeah. It really was. Like ratings-wise, it was a smash. Now,
Great idea.
I would like to move on to, listen, if you think the New York Rangers wouldn't make a play for Connor McDavid, I'm sorry, you're out of your mind.
Can you say something inflammatory for a TikTok clip?
What happens when Connor McDavid becomes a New York Ranger?
Well, then they will have found the perfect line mate for Sidney Crosby.
Oh, that's a great idea. Love that. Okay. I hope you lead the clip with that. But
Yeah, no, that's going at the beginning
great.
and then the rest of the
Fabulous.
conversation.
That's exactly what I want. And I can't wait for all the comments. And it's always the same one.
This guy's much hacky.
Oh, okay. BetMGM is an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League and has your back all season long from puck drop to final shot. Now, gentlemen, yesterday, all three New York teams played, and one goal was scored.
Hey, the Devils played as well.
They're a Garden State. That's different. New Jersey's its own thing.
You're the one who said on our last show. Come on, what are you talking about? You said on our last show, oh, it doesn't matter. So I was leading into your bit, and you didn't take it and run with it. So I don't know what you want.
All I said is New Jersey exists to feed New York. I didn't say it didn't exist. That's all I said. Hey, now question. If you were to put money on the next 10 games, who is the team? And I would even say, because all of these teams have been in a playoff spot at one point this season. Playoffs, which of the three is most likely for you?
Rangers.
Yeah.
Rangers?
Yeah.
Who's most likely to turn it around quickest?
Rangers.
Who's least likely?
Sabres.
Jesse?
The Sabres, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to be tracking this. I'm coming back to this.
I've never made that sound in my life.
No, you haven't. That was very Jim Carrey.
Where do I go to place that bet at?
You go to BetMGM, a sportsbook worth a celly and an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League. BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 19 years of age or older to wager. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. Now let's go on. Let's move on to the
I've
New
been
York.
thinking about trying it.
Let's move on to the New York team that scored a goal last night. All three played. Only one scored.
That's
The Buffalo Sabres.
that's unbelievable.
Because the Sabres were able to get one goal in the second period, a period in which they yielded 4 goals to the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens. Again, the Montreal Canadiens.
Nah. It's the Line A Canadians.
Yeah,
though.
I know.
It's different.
Okay.
But
It's different.
But Steve.
Oh, don't you okay? Don't you okay?
Steve.
Adam?
I get that Line A's back. I'm jacked about it. I'm ready to give him his compliments. I am. But Buffalo should be able to beat Montreal.
At no point this season has Montreal had more than 30 shots in an NHL game.
What? Say that.
So this is
And Steve's trying to be like,
like, well, they got Line
the
A."
dangerous Canadians.
Oh, they got Line A.
What? Jesse, I need you to say that one more time. Because I'm positive I misheard you.
At no point in this NHL season, the year of our Lord 24-25, have the Montreal Canadiens had more than 30 shots in a game.
It took about 30 games for Montreal to get more than 30 shots in an NHL game.
That's so cute. Oh my God. You think they did it against Buffalo? No, they had 27. They still haven't done it.
You're kidding.
They still haven't done it.
Hi, Steve. Adam Wild, SDPN. Montreal's bad, even with Line A.
No. Don't give me that. That's unprecedented.
I don't know if it is or not.
I just said it.
Yeah, and listen,
Oh, it's
I
true.
want Montreal to be better, and it's great to see Line A back and scoring. But come on.
No,
They
Adam.
haven't hit
No.
30?
No, they're dangerous. That was ridiculous. That was a bad take.
Canadians fans are going to be mad
I
at
know,
us for that.
I mean.
But the reality is the reality. And
Dude, that's insane.
Steve, they haven't taken the step forward that you hoped that they would.
No.
You got to get over
I don't
30
know about
shots.
hoped. I don't know about hoped.
You didn't hope?
No, I was just
Okay.
maybe I was doing that thing Drew does, where he he always downplays whoever the Avs are. Or no. Sorry, he over compliments the team that the Avalanche are about to play.
Yes, because he's a little bit. I think he's like any fan. He's like, if I over compliment them,
Reverse jinx.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the Sabres, because the Sabres scored a goal. They allowed 6. Not ideal.
No.
They have not won in 11 games. In that streak, they've had access to 22 potential points. They have acquired 3 of them.
Did you want me to do proof of work with the Canadians?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
please.
yeah.
Keep,
Just
keep
before
going.
we get too far, just proof of work. This is the Montreal Canadiens game log on Hockey Reference. This is the shot counter. If you will see in the shot
30.
counter, every game this season, none have surpassed the number of 30.
There's okay. They got 1 against the Blue Jackets.
No, surpass the
No,
number.
I know.
Oh, sure.
They hit 30 against the Blue Jackets. They hit 30 against the Kraken. That is it. They've had I count 3 under 20.
That's kind of impressive. That's kind of impressive.
Wait. No, okay. They had an overtime They went to overtime and had 13 shots against Utah. 17, 19, 15. No, it's 4. What?
They've had more games this season where they've had under 20 shots than 30 shot games.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Now, how many times have they surrendered 30 plus? 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
it's all
5,
good.
6. Holy
Just
shit.
to show you.
All I want to
There.
say.
Sorry, you can set up Buffalo.
All I want to say is that, listen,
I can't
Canadian
believe that.
We're thrilled for you. But before I believe it, I'd like to see at least 10 games over 30 shots. At least 10.
Luke Shen got 1/5 of that last night.
Yeah, he got
2
6 shots in 2 seconds or something like that. That's an insane number.
It's such a silly clip.
Okay, so the Buffalo Sabres, who have got 3 points of a possible 22 over the last 11 games. The Buffalo Sabres, it's important to note, started that streak a game up. Not a game up, points up on the Boston Bruins, who are in third place in the division. And here's what's interesting. Terry Pegula flew to Montreal, to the Bell Center, after the Leafs. Was it the Leafs loss? Yeah, it was.
I think so.
Yeah,
And said, guys, we believe in you. And don't expect any big trades either. I'm Terry Pegula.
We got confidence in the coach, confidence in the GM, confidence in this room.
And they proceeded to get their ass kicked. Damn. And so now
They gave it back-to-back hat tricks. Tavares got a hat trick on Sunday. Laine got a hat trick last night.
Jesse, keep it coming. Holy shit.
One more stuff?
You just, my jaw just keeps dropping.
The Sabres are so bad.
So here's
Do you know
How bad are they?
Do you know when the first goal of the game happened?
When?
Adam, I know you got the game log in front of you.
I don't. You tell us. You tell us, because I don't have it exactly.
19 seconds into the game.
Yeah. That almost beats Pittsburgh, who allowed their first goal 30 seconds into the game.
It baffles my mind when your owner comes to talk to you and he says, "Hey guys, I love all of you. You guys are my team. I love the coach. I love the GM. You guys are good." And your first appearance on hockey ice,
You're like literally like halfway through your first shift.
19 seconds in, Abe Kubel is like, "Okay, I'm going to give up this play at the offensive line as soon as the game
I got to
starts."
start the game. I'm
I'm-
Nicholas Abe Kubel.
First of all-
Abe Kubel's on the Sabres?
First of all,
Yes.
I'm on the ice for the Sabres to start the game. What's going on here? How did I
yes.
get here?
That's a Lindy Ruff masterclass there.
Owen Powers is going to get walked in the neutral zone. We're going to have Joel Armia clean up a bounce off the boards. And 19 seconds into this game, we're going to be down 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
The team's so bad.
And you know, it's interesting. It's great. It's interesting. It's fun. It's super cool. When you're doing bad and a rich guy walks in your room and goes, "I'm not going to help you." And that is what Terry Pegula did. He said, do not expect a trade or a big trade. And when you look at the Sabres roster, there is talent. There's no question. But
Why did they start the fourth line?
well, because you need to get Peyton Krebs and Beck Malmsteen out there.
No. When you're on a 10-game winless streak, the thing to do to not hit 11 is start your fourth line.
Against the team that's last in the division.
Yeah.
But don't worry, the Sabres soon will be.
No, they are now.
Oh, they are?
The
Oh.
Sabres are in last place in the Eastern Conference, the whole of the East, as of right now.
They
I'm
were
sorry.
finished.
I'm
They were third in the division when this started.
Can I point something out about their fourth line?
Yeah.
It's Abe Kubel, who is obviously a free agent signing. Peyton Krebs, who is a big part of the Jack Eichel return.
Yep.
And Beck Malmsteen, who's 26, coming up on 27 in February. And you know how they got him? In a trade in June. He was traded from Washington to the Buffalo Sabres for a second-round pick.
Oh, wow.
Second round.
Beck Malmsteen,
Malmsteen.
whose career high is 6 goals, 21 points. Why did they do that?
Because I don't think they're very good at running a hockey team.
And so your Tage Thompson, your Dylan Cousins,
That's your fourth line.
your JJ Peterka, your Alex Tuck, your Owen Power, Samuelson, Yoki Haru, Byram. Darlene isn't playing, but you know when he comes back off the IR,
They have good
guys.
players, man.
Guys.
I don't know.
They just told you they're not helping you, and we believe the answer is in this room. Sorry, guys, it's not in the room. And the players, I think, must have been pretty dejected after that. I can't imagine that you probably get in the room and you're like, "Yeah, guys, we got this. High fives." And you go home and you talk to your girlfriend and your wife and you go, "We do not have this. The haters were right. Good call from the haters." Like, and the hater is their owner. At what point do we actually like? Apparently, there are a bunch of trade offers for Dylan Cousins. The Sharks are circling.
He's good.
The Sharks are circling, not the San Jose Sharks, although they might have made an offer.
The Barracuda.
The Barracuda, or a meat-eating animal, is circling. And they're going to pick at this carcass because if they would trade a second-round pick for Beck Malmsteen, I think you might be able to get Dylan Cousins for not Dylan Cousins value.
Like this is what I'm.
No disrespect to Beck Mallinston. You were still in NHL.
I don't even think
But
you're
I don't
not
know,
saying
Beck,
that
would you
right.
trade you for a second rounder?
No, I'm not calling him bad. I'm just saying, damn, that's kind of a lot for that fella.
Especially when you're not like, I could see somebody trading a second round pick for a guy that's maybe not worth a second round pick at the trade deadline, a la Barclay Goodrow for a first.
Who do you, think of some of the guys you get, or think of what a second round pick gets you at the trade deadline.
Yeah, but this was when? What day of the week? Or what day of the month?
This was at the draft.
Really?
What year was it?
Because the Capitals went, here, watch this. Hello, is this Buffalo? Shut up. And they got a second round pick
Yeah.
that they used to
Mallenstein
Cole
or
Hudson.
Mallinston?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. One day we'll find out.
We will.
I should
Maybe the
should
next time the
say
Leafs play the Sabres.
I'm at a go ahead.
two-time champion. He won the Calder Cup, which means more than nothing, and a WHL championship with the Swift Current Broncos.
The reason I think this is, clearly the worst situation in the NHL for any team is because I'm at a loss for how they move forward, because the general manager, Kevin Adams, hasn't built a very good team. And his task this past offseason was to realize the team he built last year wasn't good enough, and to go out and accumulate pieces to help the guys in the locker room. He goes out and he gets Jason Zucker and nothing. That's his big addition is Jason Zucker. And okay, so
You didn't pay a second rounder for him.
the guy who's in charge of evaluating Kevin Adams and how he's doing his job believes that the poor job that Kevin Adams did was good. So we're just going to be stuck in this spiral loop where the guy who's not doing a good job building an NHL roster continues to get the opportunity to build this roster.
And
we can't move forward in Buffalo as a hockey team because it's just going to be perpetually bad. And I feel bad for the city of Buffalo and their fans because you're just in a loop of misery.
And they got, Jesse, they had the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Brandon Montour. Those three alone. Imagine you could have used one of the picks that you, and they had Casey Middlestat too. We should probably mention that. Pretty valuable middle six guy.
Nah.
All of those guys were available to Kevin Adams. That's the hard part. That's the tough one. That's where you're like, oh, that sucks. Maybe you could forgive him one.
I just feel like I need more context on the Terry Pagula thing.
What do you mean?
Were the doors open or closed?
Listen. Hey, Terry Pagula had an open door meeting, so everybody walking down the hallway could listen in. That's another way. See, this is the thing with hockey, is everybody's so afraid to call it a players only because that means that people are in trouble, so they call it a closed door.
Okay.
And I'm not blaming Emily Kaplan for that at all, in fact. But when sources tell you that, they make sure to make that differentiation because they're like, hey, it's not that bad.
Hey.
It's just sort of bad.
I wouldn't hate to see Terry Pagula sell the Buffalo Sabres.
The only thing I worry about with that is there another local billionaire who understands why keeping them there is good? This is a team that for a outdoor or for like a practice in the summertime, I saw this clip the other day on floating around the internet, had 17,000 people show up in the
That's unreal.
in the early 2000s, like when they were really good. This is a team that has unbelievable fan support. The NHL can't let that market flounder. It's the league is better when the Sabres are in it. The league is better when Detroit's in it. And I just wonder if I agree with you, Jesse. Okay, Pagula sells it. Then who?
Somebody who's going to run the team competently. Because I think the only thing that's worse for the Buffalo Sabres than they have a new owner who might not be local, but at least they're trying to make this thing into a winner.
Do they keep it there though? That's what it came down to last time. They have to keep it in Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, fine. I think that's on Gary and the owners to find the person to utilize this market and reward it with a good hockey team. It's been too long.
Yep.
It is the longest drought, tied with the New York Jets. Funny, it's another New York team for the longest playoff drought in North American for pro sports. Like, it is literally the worst. And this is the guy who's in charge of the worst. It can get better with anything. I think it's the same thing with Drury, how you were saying like a net neutral would be better. In this situation here, just a net anything is better than what is currently happening, because what is currently happening is just despair.
Yes. Yep.
Sorry. I forgot about this trade. So Beck Mallenstein was the second round pick.
What trade tree are you doing over there?
I hope. Please do the Beck Mallenstein trade.
Trade tree? It's pretty short.
Right now, it is.
Give it to us.
Jordan Greenway, who is doing better than Mallenstein. He hasn't played all the games. He's got 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points in 20 games. So 7 points plus Mallenstein's 6. You've gotten 13 points for 2 second rounders and a 5th. What? What's the fuck is happening? Who told you? I don't. People are. You know what? Maybe Kevin Adams was right. Because he was like, well, okay, we have this cap space. What, do you want me to spend it on bullcrap?
No, Kevin.
You know what? You're right. Stop making moves. That's enough. Stop it. You're gonna fuck it up. Stop it. It's like a the cantankerous dad when his kid is just trying to hold the flashlight, help him with it. Just give me it. That's how Sabres fans are treating Kevin Adams and the Buffalo Sabres right now.
Okay, if you're listening to this, just know that the camera is on Steve's butt. Steve, why are you shaking it?
Because I'm in Doer jeans.
Oh, are those performance
Oh, you
fabrics?
stopped.
And they what?
I thought you were going to keep going with your butt in the
You're gonna
microphone.
keep shaking it. Keep shaking it, Steve.
They're Doer jeans.
No, it only works when the microphone's up to the butt.
No. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, no, it's funny when the butt's talking.
Honk, 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 honk. Hi-ho, Silver.
Away.
I'm so glad you get that. Now, here's the deal. Doer jeans, look at how good they fit, Steve.
They fit me great.
And performance fabrics. Not only do they use recycled materials where possible, but these are also a lot of plant-based fibers for natural breathability, softness, and moisture absorption.
Make your ass look awesome.
They do. They make your butt
Steve's
look
got
good.
sweaty legs, so he needs it.
No, they're supple.
And they have styles for everyone. By the way, Doer doesn't just make pants. I was going to say shorts. I don't know why I said shorts. Doers don't just make, they make everything. They make other clothes. Jesse, you were wearing a Doer top the other day.
I have a green Doer flannel.
There you go.
And it's so good. Just like this ad, it's so good.
Now, what you need to do is check out one of the flagship stores in Canada or the US, or go to shopdoer.com/STP, shopduer.com/STP. And right now, just in time for the holidays, our listeners get 20% off their first purchase when you use the exclusive URL, shopdoer, DUER.com/STP. That's shopdoer.com/STP. This is a great deal. Don't wait. 20% off, shopdoer.com/STP.
Makes your butt look awesome.
A month ago in New York, the person on the hottest seat was Lou Lamoriello of the New York Islanders. And Islanders fans are losing their minds collectively at the state of the Islanders in the same way that the Rangers and the Sabres are. The difference is the Islanders are at least competent on most nights. They can't score, but they never could. The Islanders are a team that is, to me at least, screaming for a new direction. Doesn't mean that you need to tear it down and rebuild it, whatever. But I don't think that the Islanders can continue doing what they're doing. And yet I look at them and I go, if you get a couple goal scorers in there, this sure feels like a pretty good
What
playoff
year is
team.
it?
But this,
How many times are we going to say that?
yeah, but with a different manager, you need that first. You need a fresh set of eyes. You need to be able to grow some facial hair. You need to be able to go a month without getting your hair cut.
Is Lou always lets his team grow facial hair in the playoffs? How does Lou Lamoriello depart the Islanders?
They make him a consultant, and they go, Lou's stepping back. He's in his 80s, and he's been a fantastic steadying force, and he has. He took a franchise that was not in great shape, got
100%.
the arena built, put them back in the Coliseum, right?
Yep.
And then got the new arena built, got them in it, and put them in the conference finals a couple times, if I'm not mistaken, at least once.
He doesn't get enough credit for his time with the Leafs. Like, you can talk about, some of his moves or signings or whatever. You got to remember the team, the crest sucked. And I'm not talking about the crest that Shanahan changed. I mean,
Culture.
yes.
Team culture sucked.
Yes. And he brought all that goofy stuff to the Leafs, and you got to shave and you got to whatever. The team needed it frankly.
You got to give credit to Tim Leiweke as well.
Yeah.
He was the real.
But he did sign Dave Nonis to that 5-year extension.
Tim Leiweke came in and he ripped down like everything on the
Yeah.
walls and said, "This, you guys don't have anything to worship here.
And
We're
then
starting
also,
from scratch."
And then also put up some stuff that should have been on the walls for decades, like different banners and everything. Lose time in Toronto was very important. Lose time in Long Island has been very important. I think it might be over.
And you get sometimes with people, you get to a certain point. I look at who was the guy that was in Chicago right before Stan Bowman took over? Who was the guy
Dale Talon.
Dale Talon.
Dale Talon.
Who was the guy that was in? I'm just trying to think here. There was another one that I just slipped my mind.
Stevie Y in Tampa.
Yeah,
He wasn't there when they won.
that's right. That happens. Sometimes the person gets you to. Now Stevie Y left because he wanted to manage Detroit, but
Yeah, but he didn't win.
You get to a certain point. A person can take you so far, and then you must make a change. I mean, the Leafs felt like that with Dubas, and then eventually with Keefe too. And sometimes it's thank you for your service, but we need a new fresh set of eyes. And I think the instant question becomes, well, who's a better general manager than Lou? And I think that you don't need a general manager to come in and throw the whole program out the window. You've got great goaltending and a great goaltending coach. You've got strong defense. Like Noah Dobson can put up 60 points in the year if he's got the right systems. You've got some good players up front.
So few teams in the NHL are completely boned. Like
Yeah. But
the Islanders, I could easily see, like, most teams are like 2 pieces away from, like, yeah, I could see you contending.
yeah,
It's so even.
but they're not. And so
They're not.
that is where I go, come on, guys. Ballsy move here. And
not us.
Not us.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Get out there and do something with this. Get out there and do something.
What confuses me with the Islanders is every time it's proposed that they make a big move, I see people go, well, all right, what do you get for Barzal?
Not much.
And I'm like, what?
yeah, why would you move Barzal?
You okay, so here's what you do with Barzal. You don't. Let's examine some other moves that we could do. That's a centerpiece. What are
Yeah,
you doing?
here's a guy-
What are you going to trade Dobson too?
Here's a guy I look at. So obviously Brock Nelson's name has come up.
Sure.
Brock Nelson's a good one. Here's another one that you could probably sell to a team maybe named the Toronto Maple Leafs for way too much. Although he doesn't score enough. JG Pacho. Guy is like a 60% in the faceoff dot. He's playing wing right now.
Yeah.
But he's a year and a half away from his contract expiring. He's in his early to mid 30s. He's 32, 749 NHL games. He's
Wow.
got a bunch in the playoffs as well. You're talking.
Didn't he have a 4-goal game?
Yeah. He's played 86 games in the playoffs in his career. Wow. He's been valuable in all of them. The guy is extremely valuable just generally. That's a guy that you could get some real assets for. You're not going to get anything for Palmieri. You're not going to get anything for Engvall. You should never have signed Engvall to that deal.
What's Palmieri at this year?
Last year, $5 million.
No. Points.
I'll have a look. Kyle Palmieri.
'Cause he's been a pretty good player.
Always. But again, he's 39.
Yeah.
So,
shit.
sorry, no, I'm wrong. He's 33. Actually, he's been
I was-
really good this year.
I was like, dude, I had his rookie card.
No,
where
he's
did the time go? He's older than I am?
He's been really good. He may not want to go, though. He's from New York.
Adam, how many points does he have?
24 and 33.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Okay, the more I learn about the Islanders today, the more I'm confused as to why they're bad.
Because none of these guys are finishers. None of them.
Nelson's a finisher.
Kind of. He's like a 60-point, 70-point finisher. You don't have any 100-point finishers. No, you need finishers. Guys who are going to score 40 goals a year. That's where the NHL is at. You look at all the teams that are doing great. Even the Kraken have a 40-goal scorer in Jared McCann sometimes.
In a way, the Islanders, I don't know, downfall is dramatic, but drop off kind of makes sense with where the NHL is going. Because when they were in the Final Four against Tampa, there was less scoring.
Yep.
And the more scoring goes up, the more they're getting left behind.
Yep.
It's like they're built for a brand of hockey that the game has been moving away from for more than half a decade.
And you have Romanov and Dobson coming up this year, both 24 years old, your top pairing defense.
Dobson's going to be so much money.
Did you know the New York Islanders from the 2020 2021 season through last season.
So every post-COVID season.
Yeah, that is kind of where I made the cutoff from. Every single one of those seasons, the New York Islanders finished either 21st or 22nd in goals for per game. That's 4 consecutive seasons. They're 21st or 22nd in the league in goals for per game. And this season,
Something they're not able to do.
they're 28th.
Oh.
So for 5 consecutive years, you have the exact same problem with your roster. You can't score goals. Whether you're winning games those seasons, whether you're a playoff team, whether you're at the bottom of the stand, one thing holds true through the last 5 years. You're going to be 20th or below in goals for per game.
Yep.
To me, I probably would have tried to address this problem somewhere before 5 years from now.
They did.
To now.
They did. Midway through that, they traded for Pierre Engvall and signed him to a 7-year.
Duclair they got. I think they thought Duclair was going to be a big.
Didn't they get him and he immediately got hurt?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think-
that sucks.
I think there's a lapse in team building judgment here by the front office in New York, in that you're continually trying to build this very low scoring team that can win games, obviously, with their ability to not score many goals. And at some point within the last half decade, you really should have made some sort of real effort to get a premier goal scorer. Because
Yes.
that would have vaulted you into this next category of really good team. And the answer is the exact same every single year. And it's crazy to me that they don't try and address this every single time they can. And it's not spare parts goal scoring like Anthony Duclair. I'm
No.
sorry. He's not
a scoring driver. He's your second and third line guy who gets 25.
And I know those guys are hard to come by, but because every year this is your same issue, sell whatever you need to. Take away whatever part of your lineup this one doesn't work.
Yeah.
So fix it.
So here's another idea. It's hard. Well, how much money are you making again?
Oh, like the front
How
office.
much money are you making? 4 million bucks? 5 million? 6 million? Like
A couple $100,000.
I'm fairly
Wow.
sure I know what Lou was making in Toronto, and I'm not going to say it because I can't confirm it.
Because you're jealous. It was like $1 more than you.
Listen, being a guy, I'm a guy who writes checks for that, and I'll just tell you, I'm in the Ed Rogers school of no executive is worth $14 million, not even Masai. But Lou was making good money here, and he got a raise to go to the island.
Oh, wow.
And deservedly so. It's hard. It's hard to make that much money. It's a hard job when you do make that much money. That's what the money's for.
Yeah.
And it's really truly, if I were the owner of the Islanders, I would sit down and I go, guys, I'm not the hockey person here. Mm-hmm. But I look at this as what Jesse just brought up, and I go, we can't score goals. Have we considered trying? I'm not saying we need to make it our identity.
Well, they went out and they got Bo Horvat, and I think they thought that was going to solve a lot of problems for them. Silence.
Mm-hmm. I listen, I didn't.
They drafted Cole Eiserman. He was currently leading Boston University in goal scoring.
It's great. What use is that to them now?
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
And
you could always trade him to get some goal scoring now.
And especially with the Islanders' facilities and stuff, it's not like it's a hard sell to go to the island anymore. Like the way when Tavares left, you're talking about like a practice facility that was like an hour and a half away or whatever it was, and then they're playing in Brooklyn with obstructed views, and it was a total fucking disaster. Now they get their shit together. This is a good franchise, and it's New York, man.
Oh, yeah.
You might not be a Ranger, but if you're an Islander and you win with the Islanders, you're a god there for life. It's one of the best fan bases in the entire league.
It's not quite the Devils, but
Not in New York either.
Yeah.
Devils,
they've struggled to draft too. Like I'm just looking into it. So 2018, 2018, they had back-to-back picks. They had the 11th and 12th pick. Oliver Wahlstrom and Noah Dobson. Oliver Wahlstrom had a good start to his career. He's sort of fallen off. He's with the Rangers. Not the Rangers, sorry. He's with the Bruins now. 220 games played. The next pick they used on Noah Dobson, who is cracked. Like, he is a crazy,
such a great
good
defenseman.
player. Since then, they got 158 games and 53 points out of Simon Holmstrom.
Hey, he's in their lineup.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good, but like that's okay. Where's the game breaker, right? They have a grand total of 1 game played out of their 2020 draft class.
Which is a weird draft, but all the same, you should hit on one.
And also, well, they were going for it, like, so they didn't pick until the 3rd round. So, like, maybe that's not that weird. Atu Ratu is their only player from 2021 who's played NHL games. He's played 35, and he's played them with Vancouver because they traded him there for Bo Horvat. Yeah. 19 games out of Isaiah George.
To be honest, I think they won the Horvat Atu Ratu battle.
Yeah, probably.
Like big time.
Yeah. That is the teams that do the best. Vegas being the outlier. They're weird. Okay? They're weird. Tampa especially, they draft.
Yep.
They draft their teams.
Yep.
And the Islanders have kind of struggled to do that. And they've struggled to replenish a team that was experienced and got close. They've struggled to replenish that with the next generation of Islanders.
Yes. Yep. So I'll leave it there with the Islanders, but there needs to be more. There needs to be a lot more. I want to ask you guys what you think about this. Phoenix Suns owner, and I think future NHL owner in Phoenix, Matt Ishbia, has announced new concession prices. Now, if the Blue Jays or the Raptors or the Maple Leafs ever announce their concession prices, which they don't, there would be public outcry because then people would see on one sheet how much you actually have to pay for stuff at the games. And people would be like, how about you take that press release and stick it where?
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
But when an owner puts out a press release announcing new concession prices, you can be sure that the prices have gone down. And one of the teams that has done a really good job with, quote, fan-friendly pricing are the Atlanta Hawks. Right, Jesse? They have the menu that we went through.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons, excuse me. Sorry. Hawks is the basketball team. Okay. My bad. Now,
I'm not sure. Maybe they also do. You could be right.
Maybe they've set the standard.
It's like when you said that Stollers didn't play the 3rd.
Yeah.
That was correct.
Yes, that was true.
He also didn't play the 2nd.
Listen, I don't need to be that right all the time, boys. It's just too much responsibility. Now, I think the interesting thing about this is a man who a year and a half ago, when it was hard to watch Suns games on television, sent out for free over-the-air antennas to anybody that asked through a web portal so that you could watch Suns games. The concession prices are, and I'm going to ask you to guess. Okay, guys? Jesse, have you seen these?
No, I haven't.
That's good. So everybody stay off Twitter. Yeah. Okay. How much for a hot dog?
$4.
Okay, that's fan-friendly. That's good. Jesse, what do you think?
I'm trying to think back because Utah just did this, right?
Yeah.
With the at the new rink. So
I'm tempted to say everything on the menu is $5.
In Phoenix?
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna say $3.
Say $3.
Yeah.
$2.
Hey.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's where they really get
What
you.
is this, Costco?
They used to have water fountains at Maple Leaf Gardens, and I understand why nobody wants to share a water fountain. It's super weird that we ever did that before. But bottled water.
Oh.
How much for a bottle of water?
$1.
$1.
The price should be $1.
It's $2.
Oh, okay.
Rip off.
How much for a soda? All sodas, by the way.
$2.
Yeah, I'll say $2. Same price as the water. Yeah.
So was I right? Except it's not 5, it's 2.
Yes. Chips.
Everything is 2.
Chips and
Everything's
popcorn.
$2.
Hot dog, water, soda, chips, popcorn. $2.
No way.
A family of 4 used to spend $98 on hot dogs, water, and popcorn, but now we'll spend $24 instead. Now,
Wow.
when you don't struggle with attendance, you don't need to do this. But
They struggle with attendance.
well, they had in the past. I don't think they do anymore. But there is a point sometimes. They're stacked. Yeah. No, they're great. No, I don't think they struggle with this. But there is something to be said for. Now, he didn't say, your sushi at the there's things that you can buy there that are over $2.
Premium.
Yeah, your burger,
Your premium thing.
your pork slaw burger.
Yeah,
is fucking $2.
Exactly. But what I love about this is he understands brand management. He puts this out not for the fan locally, although he does do it for that reason. He puts it out so the guys like us will talk about it, and it's going to make every show. And guess what everybody's going to think? How come my team won't do that? Because you know that it's not that they can't. It's that they won't. Mm-hmm. When we talk about concessions and we talk about jersey sales, you'd be blown away by how little that factors into any NHL, NBA, or otherwise's battle plan in terms of finances. It's a factor, but when you consider all the shit that goes into making a jersey and shipping and food, making sure it's good and refrigerating and all that stuff, the margins are really not great. Your jersey, maybe Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment makes $20 million, $30 million bucks off jerseys each year.
In the grand scheme of things, listen, for you and me, we'll take it.
Yeah.
For MLSE, it's nothing.
For MLSE, their big buys or the big things that they make money off of are corporate sponsorships, private boxes, and season ticket licenses / entries into the clubs downstairs. That's where they're going to make their money. Mm-hmm. He knows this. Mm-hmm. So what does he do? It doesn't matter if you're coming to a Suns game or not. You're going to have a warm feeling about the Phoenix Suns, because that feels to me like an owner that at least is acknowledging that there are fans here that don't want to get gouged. And I think in Toronto, it's so weird lately because there used to be this thing where every company was trying to get you the lowest price on something. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like every company has gone, how do we make this the most premium product ever?
The Jays used to be that.
Yeah.
But the Raptors as well. And that's when they needed to
build a fan base.
That's when they needed to get us. Mm-hmm. It's mid-90s. The first few years of the Raptors, well, the first 2 years, the Leafs were pretty bad. But then they went into like a really good era, went to the Final Four a couple times when Vince Andy was starting to take off. And even when they were losing games, though, everyone I spoke to was like, yeah, but like there's always something happening. It's great entertainment. And like it still is, but you're also paying a fortune for that entertainment where you used to not do that. Toonie Tuesdays at the Jays feels like another planet.
Well, you have to remember, though, the Jays were terrible and they were losing money hand over fist.
They're still terrible.
The Toonie Tuesday promotion led to like people fighting in the stands and stuff.
Well, yeah, they got their liquor license revoked a couple times.
Yeah, so they can't do that.
Or suspended or whatever.
But the thing is that at a certain point, it would be nice if even the premium organizations in the sport, of which the Leafs are one, it'd be nice if there was some sort of, hey, I know that there's a chance every year and a half, 2 years, that the average fan is going to save up for Christmas, spend money on 2 tickets, have a crazy expensive night for the tickets.
No.
It'd be real cool if when you walked in, there was a price for those guys too.
I think we should, as Leaf fans...
They're not making money off this shit anyway.
We should continue to fund the Leafs' sale of themselves. That's literally what we did, right?
Yeah.
Rogers and Bell co-owned, and Rogers
bought more.
Used the money that we gave them to buy Bell out of it, and now they just get a bigger chunk of the money that we give them. And also they get all your money from the Jays. And also the Raptors, the Argos, and also TFC. I'm not done. And also the Marlies.
Argos don't make any money, don't worry.
No, I know.
So, as a reminder, this was the fan-friendly concession prices from Utah. They are being beat out by the Phoenix Suns.
Rip off!
Utah and the Smith Entertainment Group went with $3 pricing. For
what am I friggin' made of money?
They had water at $2, popcorn at $3, nachos at $3, hot dogs at $3. Ice cream at $3. So
yeah, but it's far as ice cream.
They're just beat out by Phoenix. But this seems to be a trend in pro sports where you're offering this discount. Adam, you nailed it with like your fucking little thing of popcorn costs pennies
Yep.
to ship and make and serve to people. You're making a profit selling this at $3. Why not just do it? There's
Why
no
not?
reason to sell it for those $6. And see, you're asking for stuff from the Jays for this. They do this, and they have done it last season. I think I've brought this up to the show.
Dollar
before.
hot dogs, right?
They do Dollar Hot Dogs Day every Tuesday in the season during the home games. I've been to a couple, eat like 12 hot dogs for $12. It's fantastic stuff. And they have a thing called Dugout Deals. No, Maddie, how many hot dogs did you eat last time you were there? Want to chime in?
Oh my God, probably like 3, 4.
What?
Oh,
Per inning? Or
Is that impressive?
No.
What?
That's not
Or is that? Oh, it's not
that's
impressive.
not enough. No,
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you got.
How many do you crush?
I haven't tried it yet, but I think we should do the ultimate fat guy corner and film it.
Oh, that would be a good segment.
We should do that. Yeah.
Operation Dangle 20.
I've always wanted to be one of the guys in the hot dog costumes. 'Cause
You
there's-
would be
there's
such a
always-
good hot dog.
There's always people who show up as hot dogs to hot dog night. So I think we should do that. But the Jays do these discounted meals. They have their own thing called Dugout Deals. And in 2 sections around the Rogers Center, they have $5.79 beer. They have $3.50 soft drinks. They have value chips, value cones, value hot dogs. It's not the full size that you get. It's not as good as these other markets, but they're trying because they're also realizing getting people in the door is important and giving them discounted stuff is good.
Hey, can you stop calling that shit value though? Stop telling me I'm poor. Just call it optional. Like fuck off, man.
It's
I hate when they do
shrinkflation
that.
chips, shrinkflation hot dog.
They're the
shrinkflation-
smaller
Well,
bags.
Yeah,
They're
but
the
when you
smaller
call
hot
it value, it's calling out, hey, you're poor. Like why? Why do we do this?
There's also a Black Friday deal on Jays tickets they did this year where you could get tickets in the 500s, like old school time, for less than $10. So with inflation,
That's
those
cool.
$2 tickets is probably about where they should be now. So yeah, no, these teams are starting to realize we can't just gouge everybody for the rest of time and expect people to show up to these games.
And the Leafs are like bet.
Well, that's a whole
But they have the
Leafs
market.
are.
They have the market to do it.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Hey, let's do a press conference real quick here.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Producer Hayden is bringing something to the show for the press conference today. Inspired by the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay.
He's lovely.
Hayden wanted to see what teams would look like if they kept everyone they drafted. So we drafted you, you get to be on this team. He has lineups for the Leafs, Sens, and Canadians.
Oh, God.
Where do you want me to start? Which lineup do you want me to read to you?
Probably Leafs.
No.
We end with Leafs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sens.
We tease. Sens.
Kachuk, Stützle, Stone,
Ooh.
Damn.
Zibanejad, Pinto, Batherson,
I forgot about Zibanejad.
Yeah, for
Sword-
Broussard.
Sorensen, Pajot, Nason, Foligno, Ridley Grigg, Kelly.
Stefan Nason was I believe, a first-round pick.
Yeah.
And he took a long time to develop, but he's a great player for the Devils right now.
Could have been a great player for the Leafs.
On
Could have been.
Adam's favorite player, Erik Karlsson, Sabat, Sanderson. He put CC.
Oh, yeah.
Who
CC.
got
Send
dog walked the other night. Holy shit.
Send
No,
draft
not Cody.
Oh, my God.
No way.
Bernard Docker and Ben Harper. In net,
Oh.
Joey Decord and Hoberg.
Hoberg. Where's he these days?
Hogberg?
Oh, no. It's, no I know
I'm
who
going
you
to say
mean.
Hogberg.
Sorry, I know who you mean. I just don't know where they play.
Yeah, no. Probably overseas. Montreal Canadiens.
Okay.
Jari Slafkovsky. Kotkaniemi. Caulfield.
Kotkaniemi first line center.
Lehkonen. Polling.
Paling.
Polling.
Bowling.
Like polling results. Gallagher. Pacioretty. Evans. McCarron. Pizzetta. Beck. Roy.
Oh, Nick Suzuki was drafted by the Golden
That's
Knights.
right.
Oh,
Nick
man.
Suzuki cannot make this team. Now there's an asterisk on Beck. I don't have what that asterisk might mean.
Owen Beck.
He maybe the draft pick was traded to them.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Let's just keep going.
I'm not sure.
Sergachev
Oh,
on D.
Boy, that was stupid. Oh my God.
Romanov,
Eh.
Gooley, Struble, Hudson, Harris.
Okay, so a young defensive core.
Yeah. In goal, Lindgren, which would be spectacular to have right now, Charlie Lindgren.
shit.
That's a Montreal Canadiens draft pick.
Forgot about him.
And Primo. That's a pretty good team.
It's all right. Yeah.
I'm starting to learn, like, maybe just keep your draft picks. Leafs. Nylander, Matthews, Marner.
Killing us.
Marchment, Kadri,
Yeah.
Verhaeghe.
Yep.
Now he did tell me that he finagled it. Like if you signed this person at a junior or college or whatever, he counted.
He's just to fill out the roster.
Because
Yeah.
Marchment wasn't drafted. But
Yes,
yeah.
yes. We are getting a little in the weeds here. Nyes, Holmberg, Moore,
Okay. More another signing.
Joshua, Dakota Joshua,
The one who got away.
Yeah.
Mikheyev, and Brown.
Oh dear.
I think the team they have for it is better than that.
I would take real life Leafs over this.
Yeah, I would.
Good job, Toronto Maple Leafs.
And they did not draft Hyman.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why he's not on this team. It's fun to see. Like, I think of Hyman as a fucking Leaf forever.
Yeah.
As like that's a, but they didn't pick him.
Nope.
He's
That's
drafted
good.
by
It's funny.
the Panthers.
Riley, Dursey, Shen, Sandine, Liljegren, and Dermott.
I like the real life Leafs better.
Yeah,
What about goaltending?
Wool and Hildeby.
Good.
Hey.
That's tomorrow.
That sounds
today's
like a Kyle
starter.
Dubas team right there, actually.
Dude,
Especially that defense core.
Ice that tonight. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
Like,
Adam Wilde, you are streaming tonight.
Yes, sir. Down stars, baby. Let's go.
Steve,
Yes.
you have back-to-back streams.
I'm doing Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. Okay. Buffalo Friday, which is Buffalo's next game.
Which is their get right game. And
Yeah.
it'll happen
So-
against the Leafs.
Your prediction for Friday night, Buffalo Sabres. Do the Leafs suffer the most Leafs loss ever?
Who do the Leafs have on Saturday?
Philly?
No, Islanders.
Oh, okay, there you go. Philly's a little later.
All right. Let me answer that question with a question. Which game do you start Hildeby in? Assuming you have to.
Sabres.
You already know he can beat him.
No, you
Islanders
put them on
can't.
the Islanders.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can't score.
Oh.
The Sabres can score.
But guys,
They even scored against Montreal.
we know what happens when we start the backup goaltender against the New York Islanders.
On hockey night. No, okay.
That
So,
was
Garrett
in
Sparks-
Long Island.
Garrett Sparks
but
got
we
shelled.
let John Tavares down.
Garrett Sparks got shelled, but if I'm not mistaken, Michael Hutchinson shut them out. Like in recent memory. Michael Hutchinson.
Okay.
Okay. Prediction? 7-1 Leafs. ×2.
All right, quickly. Well, I'll hit the button right here, but we got to play. Ben W. threw in the Discord who he play for. Adam, do you have any things you need to get to promo wise?
No,
for
we gotta.
SGPN?
We do have to wrap it up.
Who he play for? Adam Edstrom.
I know this.
You should know this.
I should know this.
You should know this.
Nashville.
Adam,
Edstrom.
It's not the Islanders.
you guys can combine for this.
Detroit.
New York Rangers. 31 games played.
Yeah.
Oscar Bach.
Wasn't there a guy named Edstrom in the Askarov trade?
Oscar Bach. There's an accent over the A.
How do you spell Bach?
B-A-C-K.
Botch. Like Johann Sebastian.
Sharks.
Dallas Stars.
Ah.
Let's go with Emil Lilleberg.
Emil Lille.
Lilleberg.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Hey, well done. Max Sasson.
Spell that, please.
Max. And then his last name is Sasson. This guy played 11 games in the NHL
Oh, no.
this season for a Canadian team.
Let's say the Winnipeg Jets.
No.
Okay.
Take a guess, Steve. Canadian team.
Flames.
The Canucks.
Fuck.
They played Max Sasson 11 games. All right. Isaiah George.
Oh, I swear, didn't we just talk about this person?
Jesse, we got to wrap the show.
Islanders.
Islanders is correct.
There we go. All right.
All right. There's some fucking good names in this. All right, last one. Nolan Allen. 25 games in the NHL this season.
I am
Preds.
going to say, you said the Preds?
Yeah.
Sharks.
Blackhawk.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.